Chapter 1. First Encounter at Zalibor's. Jessie stepped off the tram into Zalibor's autumn dusk. The air smelled of damp leaves and street food. She clutched a portfolio as she navigated uneven footpaths. A cyclist nearly collided with her. He caught himself and her gaze with a gentle laugh. "I'm so sorry," he said, halting and offering a hand to steady her. She smiled, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "I should watch the map, not the sky." He extended the hand. "I'm John, Jessie." Their hands lingered for a moment longer than expected. He offered to walk her to K-pop Pataka Park. Streetlights guided them as they talked. Design, music, Warsaw's blend of old and new. By the park's fountain, he brushed her cheek. "May I kiss you?" She swallowed. "Please." Chapter 2. Espresso and Electric Gazes. The next morning, he texted, "Espresso at 10? She replied, "Only if I can design your place." At a tucked-away cafe, they met over thick coffee and warm pastries. He slid a sleek tablet showing his apartment's sketch plans. They leaned close. Her fingers traced lines. "Love this." He watched her, focused. "You're amazing." Her skin tingled. She sipped coffee. "Don't say that." He smiled. "I will." Chapter 3. Krakow Gate at midnight. He called her out later that evening. "Come?" Rooftop? She joined him at a hotel rooftop terrace, lights of Warsaw unfolding below. Wind teased her hair. He passed her sweater. Their bodies warmed as they shared Prosecco. He spoke softly. "You see the city differently." She looked at him. "Because I'm with you." He kissed her, long and slow. Fingers slid along her neck. "I want you." She arched into him as Silver City lights whispered around them. Chapter 4. Studio Secrets. Jessie invited him to view her designs. In her temporary flat, she poured wine, dimmed lights. She wore a silk slip. He stood in a crisp button-down. They toured her models. Wine in hand, she reached for his. His jacket fell. Her hand stroked his chest. "Everything." He bent closer. "Everything." They kissed fiercely. She led him to her bedroom, silk slipping to the floor, his hands tracing every curve. They moved together with grace and passion, featherlight then urgent. Chapter 5. Rain-soaked embrace. A surprise drizzle found them walking Vistula's path. She shivered. He pulled her under an awning. He draped his coat around her shoulders. "Your turn to warm me." She pressed close. He kissed her jaw, slowly, intentionally, as though collecting every drop of rain and desire. They didn't run. They embraced the water. Sweat mingled with rain. It wasn't perfect. It was wild. Chapter 6. Morning Epiphany. Morning sunlight filtered through half-open curtains. She woke first, watching him sleep. He smiled, waking. "Did I wake the city?" She laughed softly. "You woke me." They cooked breakfast in his minimalist kitchen, dancing in socks and sharing cinnamon toast. He paused, catching her eyes. "Stay longer." Her heart fluttered. Longer sounds perfect. Chapter 7. The Invitation. John surprised her with 2 train tickets. Gdańsk. This weekend. She blinked. "A getaway?" "I want you away from work, from clients, from worries." Jessie smiled slowly. "And into your arms?" "Exactly." They took the train early Saturday. As Warsaw receded, Jessie leaned against him, his arm wrapped around her. They said little, letting silence grow comfortable between them. By the time they reached their seaside hotel, the anticipation between them was magnetic. Chapter 8. The hotel room. The room overlooked the Baltic Sea, with sheer curtains and a wide, inviting bed. Jessie stepped onto the balcony, wind curling her dress. John stood behind her, hands on her hips. "You're breathtaking," he whispered. She turned, meeting his lips with hunger. His jacket fell first, her dress next. They kissed their way to the bed, removing barriers one by one, clothing, fear, control. That night, their bodies found new rhythm, slow, deep, intentional. Her moans matched the ocean's rhythm. He whispered her name like a prayer. Chapter 9, Cracks Appear. Back in Warsaw, reality returned. Jessie's phone buzzed constantly. Her boss demanded earlier deadlines. A colleague hinted her contract might be extended for months. She didn't tell John. Not yet. Meanwhile, he grew distant, distracted by an upcoming investor meeting that could change his company. Their nights became shorter, their mornings quieter. One evening, he noticed her hesitating at the door. Is something wrong? She smiled tightly. Not tonight. Just tired. They kissed, but the fire was dimmer. Chapter 10, The Confrontation. At a rooftop event he invited her to, she showed up late, clearly distracted. He pulled her aside. You've been somewhere else lately. She exhaled. I might be staying longer. In Warsaw, maybe months. A pause. You weren't going to tell me? I didn't know how.
His voice softened.
I want you here, but not like this. Half present, already leaving. Jessie's voice trembled. I'm scared of falling for you and losing myself. He cupped her face. Don't lose yourself. Share yourself. Chapter 11, Warsaw Nights Reignited. That night, back at his apartment, Jessie undressed slowly, not for seduction, but as a gesture of surrender. He joined her in silence, eyes locked. They kissed without rush, exploring anew. Their touch was more than desire. It was rediscovery. They lay naked in the glow of candlelight. No performance, just need, just truth. As he moved within her, she whispered, I'm still scared. He kissed her shoulder. Me too. Let's be scared together. Chapter 12, The Unexpected Visitor. Jessie was in the kitchen, wrapped in one of John's shirts, when her phone rang. She answered, expecting her assistant, but froze. Hey, Jess. I'm in Warsaw.
Can we talk?
It was Mark, her ex, the one she never mentioned to John. Later, over coffee, Mark admitted he came hoping to reconnect. I was wrong to let you go, he said. Jessie shook her head. You didn't let me go. You never really had me. But guilt lingered. When she returned to John's flat, he looked at her carefully. You okay? I saw someone from London, she confessed. An old distraction. Should I be worried? She leaned into him.
No.
But I needed to tell you. Chapter 13, The Anniversary Night. It was 1 month since their first kiss. John blindfolded her, guiding her into his penthouse dining area. Candles, violin music, chocolate, and red wine. He kissed her neck. No more distractions. Tonight is ours. Jessie surrendered. He lifted her onto the marble table. Her back arched as his lips found her thighs. They made love by candlelight, her blindfold still on, senses heightened, emotions unleashed. When it was over, she lay in his arms. I've never had a night like this, he whispered. I want every night to be like this. Chapter 14, Torn. Jessie received the formal offer from her company, a promotion, but only if she returned to London within a week. She sat in the hotel lobby, staring at the email, heart racing. John entered with takeout in hand. You okay? She handed him the phone.
He read,
then looked up. What do you want? I want you, she said, voice breaking. But I've worked for this for years. Silence. You can't choose both? She shook her head. They want an answer. Tomorrow. That night, they slept back to back. Chapter 15. The Goodbye That Wasn't. At the train station, Jessie clutched her passport and a small suitcase. John stood beside her, expression unreadable. I don't want to stop us, she said. tears threatening. He touched her face. Then don't. A final call for boarding echoed. I'll come back, she whispered. I'll wait. Their kiss was slow, deep, and trembling. As the train doors closed, their fingers slipped apart. Chapter 16. Warsaw without her. John threw himself into work. His office hummed with meetings, calls, and cold dinners. But his thoughts stayed with Jessie. The way she'd wake up tangled in sheets, the sound of her laugh in the rain. He walked past the cafe where they first had espresso.
Empty. Cold.
He texted, "Are you happy?" The reply came hours later. "I'm proud, but not complete." Chapter 17. Distance and Desires. In London, Jessie's days were full. Meetings, deadlines, late-night presentations. But her nights were empty. She scrolled through photos of Warsaw, cobblestone streets, coffee dates, John's sleepy smile. Her body remembered him, the way his hands moved, the sound he made just before losing control. She missed the sex, yes, but more, she missed the connection. She started drafting a message to him, deleted it, then started again. Chapter 18. The video call. When John's name lit up her screen, her heart leapt. "Hey, stranger," he said, his voice like warm silk. They spoke for an hour about work, coffee, insomnia, and the ache in their chests. "Sometimes I still sleep on your side of the bed," he admitted. Jessie bit her lip. "Sometimes I wake up reaching for you." He looked straight into the camera. "Come back." She hesitated. "Ask me again."
Jessie.
"Come back." Her voice cracked. "Soon." Chapter 19. Surprise in the Rain. 2 weeks later, he stepped out of a meeting into pouring rain and froze. She stood there in a navy trench coat, suitcase by her feet, drenched and smiling. Warsaw looked lonely, she said. He dropped his briefcase and wrapped her in his arms, rain and all. "I thought I'd dreamed this moment," he whispered into her wet hair. She kissed him, slow and hungry, as if reclaiming every second they'd lost. Chapter 20. Reconnection. That night, they didn't rush. No tearing off clothes.
No frantiqueriency.
John lit candles, ran a bath, undressed her like unwrapping a precious memory. In the water, they rediscovered every inch, her gasp as he kissed her ankle, his moan when she touched the small of his back. Later, in bed, skin to skin, she whispered, "I'm not leaving again." He pulled her closer. "Then let me worship you properly." And he did, over and over, until night gave way to dawn. Chapter 21. A new chapter. Jessie unpacked into John's closet. Her paintbrushes leaned beside his favorite books. They walked the old market hand in hand, no longer pretending they were temporary. A new art gallery offered her a residency. She accepted. One evening, curled together by the window, she asked, "Do you think this is it?" He smiled.
No.
"I think this is just the beginning." She kissed him softly. "Then let's keep writing it, together in Warsaw and beyond."